Good evening, everybody. Welcome to a reading of the Bible as part of our Sacred Sundays. This is a makeup session. I believe I need to be up to not level, chapter 30 of Genesis. So let me read that for y'all right now. Because I think I have at least a week of being behind. So let me read chapter 30. It's 43 verses. Okay. So, chapter 30 of Genesis. Here we go. This is right after Jacob uh, works a total, I believe, of 14 years for Rachel because his uncle Laban kind of tricked him in chapter 29. So, and of course, we read that. So, let's read chapter 30. When Rachel saw that she bare Jacob no children, Rachel envied her sister Leah and said unto Jacob, Give me children, or else I die. Jacob's anger was kindled against Rachel, and he said, Am I in God's stead or steed, who hath withheld from thee the fruit of the womb? Rachel said, Behold, my maid Bilhah, go in unto her, and she shall bear upon my knees, that I may also have children by her. She gave him Bilhah her handmaid to wife, and Jacob went in unto her. Bilhah conceived and bare Jacob a son. Rachel said, God hath judged me, and hath also heard my voice, and hath given me a son. Therefore called she his name Dan. Bilhah, Rachel's maid, conceived again and bare Jacob a second son. Rachel said, With great wrestlings have I wrestled with my sister, and I have prevailed. And she called his name Naphtali. Naphtali. When Leah saw that she had left barren, or been left barren, she took Zilpah her maid and gave her Jacob to wife. Zilpah Leah's maid bare Jacob a son. Jacob said, A troop cometh, and called his name Gad. Zilpah Leah's maid bare Jacob a second son. Leah said, Happy am I, for the daughters will call me blessed. And she called his name Asher. Reuben went in Reuben went in the days of wheat harvest, and found mandrakes in the field, and brought them unto his mother Leah. Then Rachel said to Leah, Give me, I pray thee, of thy sons mandrakes. She said unto her, Is it a small matter that thou hast taken my husband, and wouldest thou take away my son's mandrakes also? Rachel said, Therefore he shall lie with thee tonight for thy son's mandrakes. Jacob came out of the field in the evening, and Leah went out to meet him, and said, Thou must come in to me, for surely I have hired thee with my son's mandrakes, and he lay with her that night. God hearkened unto Leah, and she conceived, and bare Jacob the fifth son. Leah said, God hath given me my hire, because I have given my maid to my husband. She called his name Issachar. Leah conceived again, and bare Jacob the sixth son. Leah said, God hath endued me with a good dowry. Now will my husband dwell with me, because I have borne him six sons. And she called his name Zebulun. Afterwards she bare a daughter, and called her name Dinah, or Dinah. I think it's pronounced Dinah. God remembered Rachel, and God hearkened to her, and opened her womb. And she conceived, and bare a son, and said, God hath taken away my reproach. She called his name Joseph, and said, The Lord shall add to me another son. It came to pass, when Rachel had borne Joseph, that Jacob said unto Laban, Send me away, that I may go unto mine own place, into my country. Give me my wives and my children, for whom I have served thee, and let me go. For thou knowest my service which I have done thee. Laban said unto him, Jacob, I pray thee, if I have found favor in thine eyes, tarry, or stay a little more, stay longer. For I have learned by experience that the Lord hath blessed me for thy sake. Jacob said, Appoint me thy wages, and I will give it. He said unto him, Thou knowest how I have served thee, and how thy cattle was with me. For it was little which thou hadst before I came, and it is now increased with unto a multitude, and the Lord hath blessed thee since my coming. And now when shall I provide for mine own house also? Laban said, What shall I give thee? Jacob said, Thou shalt not give me anything. If thou wilt do this thing for me, I will again feed and keep thy flock. I will pass through all thy flock today, removing from thence all the speckled and spotted cattle, and all the brown cattle among the sheep, and the spotted and speckled among the goats, and of such shall be my hire. So shall my righteousness answer for me in time to come, when it shall come for my hire before thy face, every one that is not speckled and spotted among the goats, and brown among the sheep, that shall be counted stolen with me. Laban said, Behold, I would it might be according to thy word. He removed that day the he goats that were ring-straked and spotted, and all the she goats that were speckled and spotted, and every one that had some white in it, and all the brown among the sheep, and gave them unto the hands of his sons. He set 3 days' journey betwixt himself and Jacob fed the rest of Laban's flocks. Jacob took him rods of green poplar, and of hazel and chestnut tree, and peeled white streaks in them, and made the white appear which was in the rods. He set the rods which he had peeled, verse 38, peeled, before the flocks in the gutters and the watering troughs, when the flocks came to drink, that they should conceive when they came to drink. The flocks conceived before the rods, and brought forth cattle ring-straked, speckled, and spotted. Jacob did separate the lambs, and set the faces of the flocks toward the ring-straked, and all the brown of the flock of Laban. And he put his own flocks by themselves, and put them not unto Laban's cattle. It came to pass, whosoever the stronger cattle did conceive, that Jacob laid the rods before the eyes of the cattle in the gutters, and that they might conceive among the rods. But when the cattle were feeble, he put them not in, so the feebler were Laban's, and the stronger Jacob's. The man increased exceedingly, and had much cattle, and maidservants, and men servants, and camels, and donkeys. And that is the end of chapter 30 of Genesis. Have a great night.